Alright. You asked for it. Delete these mods today too. Bigger, moddier, and oh whatever. Right into it.
Away we go!
Always make sure you're on the right version of Skyrim. Probably Special Edition or Anniversary Edition. First, I'm going to make a humble suggestion that if you're playing Legendary Edition, try out Skyrim AE or SE instead. I'm not saying LE wasn't great. I'm just saying the backbone of these videos is new, better mods. Skyrim SE has the ability to load thousands of mods with ESLs. It's written better, it's more stable. Check it out. If you use ENB, consider using community shaders. This might cause some controversy, but ENB with a good preset makes Skyrim as beautiful as a game made in 2023. But it runs like a game from 2033. That is to say, even high-end PCs of today can feel the strain when you mod to infinity and beyond. My PC, which doesn't struggle with Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3, struggles when playing and recording Skyrim Special Edition and running ENB without lots of FPS mods. If you have ENB in your FPS tanks, consider getting some FPS increasing mods, getting a better PC, or trying out community shaders. Doodlem is quickly adding functionality to community shaders. It's got proper depth of field, motion blur, and has the bonus of working with the upscaler. But ENB still looks better. I know this is another wishy-washy thing to say, but alternate start live another life is great. It has dozens of add-ons. It can bypass the Helgen start or go into it. There's nothing wrong with it, but there are alternatives that fulfill the same role. Realm of Lorkhan starts the player in an ethereal realm and allows them to select from many starting points, starting equipment, basically what storyline they want to start. Alternate perspective lets you start in Helgen as a bystander, or you can decide to do the vanilla start as normal. Skyrim Unbound Reborn gives you the freeform start that you need in a room with a lot of options. It also includes the ability to play as a non-Dragonborn character, which technically you could always do if you just never started the main quest. Finally, Ralof or Hadvar alternate start lets you bypass the dreaded carriage ride and go straight into the interesting part of the vanilla quest. You start where you choose who to follow between Ralof or Hadvar. If you love survival, there have been a lot of mods that have come and gone across the years. But back in the old days, they used a lot of scripts to do these survival mods. Even Bethesda's golden child that they created themselves, the CC survival mode, is not that great. Very limited in options. And it just does things that I don't want it to. If you use survival mode, disable it. If you have Frostfall or I Need or Wet and Cold, I suggest you use Sunhelm. Last Seed is also an option here. It's a little newer than Sunhelm, but it doesn't have Cold. So you'd have to use Frostfall, which is one of the older options in this list. Sunhelm is pretty lightweight and it does everything you want it to do. And it's configurable in the MCM. If you're still using User 360 Movement by the creator of CGO, use True Directional Movement by Urshan, the same guy who created Precision, which was revolutionary, and OAR. Are you kidding me? Another revolutionary animation mod. Hold on, I need to add this to my mod list. Apparently there was a conflict between Precision and an old mod named ZX Slice Backstab and Parry, and this new mod just fixed it, so interesting info there. I got kind of derailed by that. Anyway, out of the box, True Directional Movement actually changes how your character moves, whereas older mods change behavior files, which was a nightmare to patch with other Nemesis-based mods. The old way to convert from LE to SE was to use this ConverttoSE.bat file, but now we have Cathedral Assets Optimizer. You also don't need NIF Optimizer anymore. But on the rare occasion CAO doesn't work, keep NIF Optimizer as a backup. But CAO is way easier to use. There are a bunch of small mods including Enchantment Reload Fix and old Flora Respawn fixes that are now obsolete because of scrambled bugs. If you have CBP, use CBPC because it's better. Also a note, last time I talked about HDT SMP, and generally I use HDT SMP for clothes physics and CBPC for body physics. And yes, you can run them both. Who doesn't like a bit of body physics? Speaking of bodies, I'm not going to say which one is better between CBBE or BHUNP. They're both good. What I am going to say is, if you're using CBBE, then use 3BA. You still need the original, but 3BA is an upgrade to it. And if you're using Legacy UNP or UUNP, use BHUNP instead. And both of the aforementioned body mods are backwards compatible. So if you download something that's UUNP and you have BHUNP, then it still works. And if you're using TKAA, I suggest switching to either of the aforementioned body mods. It's not that it doesn't look great, but out of 10 given armor mods, 4 will be CBBE only, 5 will be either or, and 1 will be BHUNP only, and 0 will be TKAA. Out of 100, maybe 5%. If you're using Simply Knock, which I still am, you can use Simpler Knock, which uses SKSE plugin instead of a script. The old one still works though. Alright, RS Children versus The Kids Are Alright. I would say The Kids Are Alright is better, it's newer, it looks better.
With add-ons, there are additional children.
But RS Children works, and it has playable children, so pick your poison. And if you use Unread Books Glow, Reading is Good, Don't Eat Spell Tomes, and any number of other book mods, consider using Bookem, which also has additional options, and it's got animations paired with each of the actions. If you use Equippable Underwear, replace it with Underwear.dll. It even says so on the mod page that it's been replaced. I was thinking about talking about horses, but
Horses kind of suck in Skyrim.
also it's a can of worms I'm not willing to go into this time. And before I go, I want to mention what really gave me this idea. First of all, the nature of Nexus metrics makes it easy for people to just look at the popular mods and download those, even if they're old or outdated. So this new amazing mod, it might be on hot mods, but if you're a new modder, you just search for I want a hunting mod, and then you get Hunterborn, and you never get to see the new hunting mod that Jay Serpa put out. So what really inspired me is when I started modding, I made some of these wrong decisions. I would say using Finis isn't the worst decision, but like there's just so much stuff now, a couple of years later, that Nemesis can do that Finis can't. But then I learned how to use them both at the same time, so it's okay.
So anyway, subscribe and comment below if you want to see more, or similar videos. Make your game whatever you want. Happy modding.
Bye.